Greetings and peace. I hope you and yours are doing well today, wherever you might be watching or listening to this from. And this will be the second Masonic education video that I do for the month of October 2022. Now, this one I wanted to focus on how Freemasonry and other esoteric groups that are out there can help the modern man in this age of loneliness that we find ourselves in. Now, we're living in a society where everyone is kind of disconnected with each other. And even now when I go out, it's that vibe of humanity connecting to each other and that brotherhood or those friendships that were there, they're rarely not there anymore. So now we're looking at the modern age with its challenges, which can make one person feel down spiritually and mentally and emotionally. And we realize that we are all walking each other home and we owe this love and light to one another. And how even if you look at all of the great teachers and messengers that walked on this earth, Christ has his disciples, Prophet Muhammad, he had his companions and Sahabas, you had Moses, Solomon, you had all of these great teachers that had their companions and brothers with them. So we look at the modern man and he's disconnected from his fellow man, from God, from nature, from the women. Men are not pursuing their other halves anymore. They're just living stagnant, dull lives, not gaining anything, and not basically raising themselves up to a higher standard. So basically, in all of our advancements and technologies, the modern man has really been dumbed down in a way. And why are these groups important? Because they teach you fraternity. They teach you the aspect of striving for knowledge, being a better person, being on the path of self-improvement, trusting God, which our world has forgotten, and why it's important to be with like-minded fellows who can uplift you, you can uplift them, and basically we need that in our lives. We can't do anything by ourselves. I know the Western society, it promotes individualism and just worry about yourself and don't worry about the other person, and look at what condition it has brought the people of the West in. So it's important for the modern man to find a group, including Freemasonry and other spiritual groups that are there. So you have Sufism, you have different esoteric groups that are there, to find that aspect of oneness, to help it make you become a better person. Those inner questions of those life that always intrigue you. Why are we here? Who are we? What is our purpose? What are we doing here in the day-to-day routine that's been set for us by the system? And what is my individual gift that I have to offer to humanity? How can I help other peoples? How can they learn from me? And how can I learn from them? And how can we be equals? And one beauty of Freemasonry is that it unites mankind, otherwise who would remain at a perpetual distance. And you have brothers of different religions and races that come together and uplift each other and respect each other and honor each other. And that's what we need in today's world. A world where you have the agents of chaos that also exist in all races, religions, and countries and groups of the world that are there to put one against the other. But as a man of light, as a man of God, as a man of truth, you should always strive to lift yourselves higher. And I know I reiterate this message many times. Why? Because it's important that we need each other. We're walking each other home, and we must uplift each other in our current fallen state that we're in. Why is our world suffering with all of our knowledge and the things that we know, and the world connected now more than ever? Why is the world suffering? Why were ancient civilizations more advanced than us? Why? Because they had these concepts. Uplifting yourself. Because if you uplift yourself, the human being is so powerful. Even the Holy Quran tells you that the highest ranking creature in the entire universe and in this realm that we're in currently, after God itself, is the human being. So most people don't know how powerful they really are. And if everyone started projecting a positive frequency of self-improvement in one specific area, that would shift that spiritual vibe of that area overnight. right? Because it's the inner frequency of your temple that will manifest out into the physical world. And you can only do that when you're living a good, clean life. You're living an honorable life. You're doing good deeds. You're associating with good people who they can learn from you. You can learn from them. You're doing things which is uplifting of self and others in this life that you're living. Think about it. What is our world currently teaching us? Just worry about yourself, outdo the other person, CYA, what they say about like just covering your own self and throw the other people under the bus, climb up the ladder. But at the end, what is any of that going to get you? The purpose of life is what good did you do for yourself and others? Now, the aspect of titles, degrees, monies, all that stuff, you're going to leave all of that behind. Just look at recently the Sheikh who owned the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest and most expensive building in the world, with the most expensive homes, condos, businesses. He's buried in the dirt. He didn't take none of that with him. Look at recently the Queen of England that just died, with all of her riches and royalty and all her accolades and privileges. She left all of that behind. So that's the reality of the human being, what even Freemasonry teaches you. Make good use of this one human life that's been given to you by being good to self and others, where you lived respected and you die regretted. And be one who strives for knowledge. Be one who trusts God. Be one who basically is doing the right thing with the time that's been given for self and family. And leave a good impact behind, because the impact that you leave behind and how people will remember you, that is basically what immortalizes you. So find that, and why this is the reason why the modern man is so lonely, because he doesn't have that aspect of showing his genius, showing his grit, and showing that aspect and having that companionship of like-minded fellows, and just being down all the time, not being basically that masculinity of the modern man has been taken away from him, and that needs to be restored. If there is some balance that is going to be restored on this world, where you have the masculine in its place, then you have the feminine in its place, and that's what defines even Almighty God, the masculine and feminine being in harmony and in collective harmony with one another. So we need the modern man to take its rightful place back in society and be the defenders of their families, be the defenders of their women, love and respect and protect and uplift their women in their lives, and with their fellow brothers, uplift each other, guide each other, build good neighborhoods, build good societies, and uplift yourselves. That's exactly what it comes down to in the end. There's not really much to it. If you think about it, what happens when you leave from this world? People might cry for a day, 2 days, 3 days. What happens eventually? People move on. The world moves on. And that's exactly what happens. So live an honorable life. Find a group that uplifts you, which you have. Freemasonry is one of the many great options where you can find it in many countries of the world. It's a global fraternity, and you'll never be alone in your life. You'll always have people that look out for you. You look out for them. There's other groups, Sufism, other spiritual esoteric groups, and the modern man must strive to find something which uplifts itself and uplifts others. And basically be in that state of knowledge and giving back. Because right now our world is not in a good condition, and we need the modern men of this world to step up to the plate and be the ones who become the protectors of their societies again, and not the ones who are living in fear all the time, hiding in their homes, afraid to interact with others. Bring that humanity back into the fold so we can restore our world and create that heaven on earth that we are capable of doing, as God has given us this realm, given us its resources, given us each other, but yet our world is suffering. So I encourage the modern man, please find a group, including the option of Freemasonry, where you can start building yourself up, Build yourself so you can build others, and the world only gets better when the men in it get better. So I hope this message has benefited you. Thank you.